Now, this video came out from Rivian on Christmas Day, and it shows the R1T doing tank turns. Can you explain what that means?
So the R1T is Rivian's pickup truck, fully electric. It's got 4 motors, and that allows it to do this. That is a tank turn. So a tank is able to do that, right? Because it's got treads, and one of the only ways you can turn a tank is to move one tread faster than the other, right? You can't steer tank treads.
Right. Oh, so tank turn is you have one go in reverse and one go forward, and then the tank just does a full circle.
So here, instead of with tank treads, it's using its tires. So 2 tires on one side of the car are moving forward, and the other 2 are moving backward. So that allows you to do this tank turn, and pretty much most cars out there don't have the ability to do this.
Now, why are they doing it on mud?
So that's actually a really important thing here. If you were to do this tank turn on pavement, there'd be a lot of tire squeal, there'd be a lot of tire wear, because you'd essentially be burning all 4 tires, and 2 of them in a direction which they're usually not going to be turning in that frequently. So doing it on mud means that you're just going to be kicking up mud as opposed to burning your tires.
The question is, I mean, it caught my attention, and it made me even rethink my R1T reservation, because I had been thinking, well, you know what, I want to get a Cybertruck instead of this. But then when I saw this, it was so cool, I was like, oh, I'm glad I've got the reservation. But is it really a big deal, or is it just a parlor trick?
Well, I think that parlor tricks can be sort of big deals if you think about it. I mean, Tesla has a lot of what some would consider to be parlor tricks, but it excites people. It gets people thinking about what else it can do. And it is a good point, because there are lots of things that you can do when all 4 wheels can be vectored. And what that basically means is you can manipulate the attitude of the car in a non-traditional ways.
Well, and as our buddy Mike from Wisconsin pointed out, there's a few things you need to do with the truck sometimes that I don't necessarily think about. One is you drive into the forest on some very tight road, and then you realize you need to turn around, and you can't. With this truck, you probably could. And another thing that's important is when you're towing, let's say up a hill, something heavy, and then you've got slippery conditions. In most 4-wheel drive cars, even the Model X, when one wheel slips on an axle, you're giving up half your power to get the other wheel to grip. In this case, with torque vectoring, you wouldn't necessarily be doing that.
Right. You'd have a lot more precise control over the wheels. Because, right, even now with a 4-wheel drive Tesla, it still has to brake the slipping wheel. It has to realize that it's slipping, which is something that the Rivian will have to do as well. And the reason that the Tesla has to brake that wheel is because there's a differential between the two, and that's the only way that it can get the other wheel to spin, because otherwise this one will just spin, because that's how differentials work.
Right.
So by having 4 motors on each wheel, it gives you independent control of every wheel, which means you can do tank turns. It means off-roading could be very, very exciting. And it's great that we actually get to see the tank turn, because I was honestly losing hope that we were going to be able to see this at all. The questions that come up for me are, how do you do a tank turn? How do you tell the car to do a tank turn, right? Because most cars have steering wheels, and that means, moving the wheels around. It doesn't mean, initiate tank turn mode. So part of me feels like there was a guy in the back of the pickup truck with a laptop, and he typed in a piece of code that said, initiate tank turn, start, enter, and then it did the tank turn. I don't know. We haven't
there
seen...
could be a button.
Right.
I mean, the other question is, will Elon be kind of forced into doing this for the Cybertruck? Will there be a 4th option level where you get 4 motors? It costs a little bit more. I would love to see comments below if you think Elon's going to do that.
Right.
Yeah, so you know what else is weird?
What?
Rivian just went through another funding round, and they raised $1.3 billion from Amazon, Ford, and T. Rowe Price.
We already covered this, right? They've already raised $1 billion.
No, that was an earlier funding round. So
Wait a minute. They raised $1 billion.
Right, they raised $500 million from Ford and $700 million from Amazon.
Yes,
but now
that's over $1 billion.
Right, but now there's a new funding round that just closed. This had T. Rowe Price, Amazon, and Ford, and they raised another $1.3 billion. So that's $2.5 billion within the last year.
Okay, what do they plan on spending this money on?
Oh, good stuff. Good stuff. There's going to be Jam Band Thursdays, and I hear they're going to have Dave Matthews Band.
Wait.
Also, coffee bars. And I was thinking, how about Tank Turn Tuesdays, dude?
No, but like factories. Like, what are they building? A factory somewhere?
I don't know. I haven't heard anything about it.
Wait. They're going to produce an electric truck, right?
Someday, yeah.
I just don't understand. You already raised $1 billion. Wouldn't you start doing something
I think they started
outside of the realm of just showing off prototypes?
Yeah, they did. They got straight to work on raising another $1 billion.
I'm a little flabbergasted by the amount of money that they're able to raise. It seems like it's too much money. Now, you might be saying, Jesse, you can never have too much money. But I would argue that you've never had over $2 billion.
Thanks for watching this clip. You can watch the whole episode by clicking this card or by clicking the link in the video description down below. Now you know.